Oh my god, you guys, what is up?
What's up?
With new haircut in tow and spirits amped, we went to go see Morgan. Early screening, which doesn't come out till September 2nd. And guys, this screening was magical.
Within like the first like 5 or so minutes in the movie, there's this group of older women.
It's one older woman, and she climbs up the side of the stairs, and her friend is waving at her from the row in front of us. We're in the top row. And she's waving, and so this lady, instead of going down the second row to walk in front of people and meet her friend, she decides to go walk through our row, go all the way to the end of the top row, turn around, and then go to the second row.
Didn't even remember what happened in the movie in those 5 minutes.
I don't remember what happened in this movie in the first 20 minutes, but I was just distracted by all the wonderful things in front of me. This movie is such a piece of shit. It's like, what would happen if Splice, Ex Machina, The Bourne Identity, and Old Yeller just had a massive Roman orgy? This movie is the kind of sci-fi thriller that thinks it's smarter than it is, but it's also trying to be like a Ridley Scott movie.
That's true.
Something that's super smart, but is also really fucking entertaining and like crazy at times.
See, I feel like at the ending though, it's just like they just gave up. It was stupid before, but then it's like, oh my gosh, this is magical. This
movie went full retard. Before we go any further, spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about all the juicy spoilers in this flick, so if you want... Here are our final thoughts and scores out of 6 stars. Just click the time code and it'll take you to that. This movie is about Kate Mara, who works for a corporation that is making artificial intelligence, and she is sent to this woodland retreat to observe the
Why the fuck would they put it in the woods? Why would they not put it in just like a facility?
Because Ex Machina happened, Liam.
I know, but Ex Machina, it was the contained, like it was one house. And there's like, they've got like several houses, and they've got like a garden, and they've got like a lake.
Well, I mean, the scientists have to live somewhere.
Well, here's the thing, like Ex Machina though, it was like, that's like his house. It's like he's got like this private niche. Whereas this, it's like a government facility. It should be in like a secluded, not...
Exactly, the woods.
But, okay, whatever. There were just so many stupid...
I love how you're having a nitpick with the first thing I say. What the fuck, man? How are we gonna get through this? Kate Mara is sent to assess their newest foray in artificial intelligence, and a girl named Morgan, which was made, like in Transcendence, it's playing with the idea of nanotechnology combined with human cells makes a motionless actor.
I'm sure these are all good actors, but it's like they're giving bad performances because the material's so bad. Except Paul Giamatti transcends. Goes full Paul Giamatti. He starts off at 11, and it just
goes up from there. Yeah. Kate Mara is coming as an outsider, and all the scientists that have been working with Morgan, since they've been alone with her for the past, I guess, couple years, they treat her as family, as their daughter at one point, especially Rose Leslie, who plays Amy, who's like her best friend in all the world. This movie is such a waste of wonderful talent. Did you ever notice that? Because Jennifer Jason Leigh is in this for a grand total of 5 minutes.
See, that's the thing is And
Jason Leigh is even more drunk than Paul Giamatti is.
I don't understand, like, why they took, like, good actors and they put them in, like, these 5-minute roles. Like, Toby Jones, I thought, was good in this movie.
Toby Jones was alright.
No, but I think he actually gave, like, he was actually, like, giving a pretty decent performance. His character was by far the best. I mean, it wasn't like a major character.
It wasn't a role that worked, I mean, but he was the best out of all the people here.
Well, I mean, outside of Paul Giamatti.
Paul Giamatti is in a different movie.
Yeah.
Fuck it, we're gonna go to Paul Giamatti. Paul Giamatti plays a psychologist that is sent by corporate. We don't really know the I think the company was, what, Syntech? Like
Evil Corp.
Evil Corp. Enron.
Mr. Robot.
He's sent by corporation to check Morgan out.
Skynet.
And Morgan...
LexCorp. Oscorp.
He's just sent there to do a psychiatric evaluation of this girl.
There's a glass wall between Morgan and Paul Giamatti, and Paul Giamatti's like, no, I'm not gonna do this. Is this some sort of joke?
If you have to put a glass wall between me and your test subject, then I think the psych eval's failed. At some points he's going Heath Ledger, at some points he's going Christopher Walken, but in the end it is all the magical glory of I don't give a fuck Paul Giamatti.
Goes in and sits down with Morgan, and they've got like no security measures whatsoever because this is a dumb movie. He starts off like mild intensity, and he just gets more intense as the scene goes on, asking her questions and stuff. It's obvious that he's pissing her off, and I mean, it was obvious from the scene that, like, when Paul Giamatti first arrived, that she was gonna, like, fucking murder him.
The reason Kate Mara is really here is because there was an incident involving Morgan where they didn't give Morgan what she wanted, and so what she did was she got up and stabbed Jennifer Jason Leigh in the eye multiple times.
He starts going off. He goes full Giamatti. He's like, so, what would you do with this? What would you do if I was gonna terminate you? What were you gonna do if you could never see your friends again, or you could never go to the lake with
Are they really your friends? Would friends lock each other up in a cage?
Then she, like, attacks him, and it's awesome because she just, like, bites him.
I thought she was gonna pull a Mike Tyson and rip off his ear.
Yeah, and he's just like,
It's literally just
it's pretty much.
And Paul Giamatti's like, well, there's like blood spurting from his neck.
And then the best part of the movie's over.
Yeah.
Paul Giamatti. And
yeah, they kill Paul Giamatti off in like 10 minutes. After Morgan kills Paul Giamatti, Kate Mara's like, I'm shutting this down.
Except Daniel just gave more personality in that statement than
Kate Mara did.
I'm sorry that we keep ripping on Kate Mara, but she was really bad in this movie.
Strap Morgan to a table, and the main lady, played by Michelle Yeoh, who started this whole project, she's one of the few people that's sitting there like, I understand what Morgan has become. And for some random reasons in this movie, as soon as Kate Mara meets her, she starts speaking Chinese to her.
Yeah, that was so weird. This is my biggest problem with the movie, is there's just random stuff and characters just making stupid decisions. It's like, this isn't how a human being would act. I mean, they're just dumb. I can't feel bad for them because they make like dumb decisions.
I never felt anything for these people. I'm sitting there like, all right, fuck it, let it happen, man.
The only one I cared about was Paul Giamatti.
Why couldn't you have had Paul Giamatti survive instead of Kate Mara? And just have Paul Giamatti out there chasing Morgan in the woods with a fucking
like the Revenant.
rifle.
It's like the Revenant.
Can you imagine if Morgan would have transformed into like a giant bear human and just, like in Tekken, and just fucking chased after him the entire movie?
The first like hour of the movie, like nothing happens.
Nothing fucking happens.
It's just like character development.
It's pretentious bullshit. Literally every other sci-fi movie has done this concept and done it better.
Yeah.
In a world where Ex Machina is an Oscar-winning movie, we should not have to stand for this bullshit.
It's just plot. It's just repetitive
It
plot.
really is. It's just things happening. Yeah. I am so tired of this. We mix nanobots with humans, and for some reason, everything goes to shit. Like the robots are or the AI is murderous and suicidal. Like, this movie didn't explain why that happened.
Yeah.
It was just, oh, she's wired wrong. I'm like, fuck you.
It was weird. Like, is she a robot?
Is she an alien? Is she Deontward?
Is she Harambe?
Can you imagine?
Whoa. Moment of silence for Harambe. Liv Moss.
This movie also does that awful thing that R-rated movies are doing now for some reason, where they're cutting away from the actual violence.
Yeah, I mean, you're rated R.
I thought that separated the PG-13 from the R.
I didn't know what it was rated. I'd probably say it was rated PG-13 because they.
So would I.
I mean, they say.
Except for the fucks, like 3 times. But those aren't fucks that you need.
Yes.
You could cut this out. This movie's already 99 minutes long, which I guess that's a saving grace. It goes by pretty fast.
It felt a lot longer though.
It felt boring.
Yeah.
Not really long, because I knew it was just gonna keep going until it was finally over.
I mean, it was a really simplistic plot. I felt the ending dragged on. Like, the ending, it's like they go from one set piece to another set piece, and they could have
And then
easily,
back to another set piece.
you could have easily combined that all into one set piece.
Morgan has killed everybody. She has escaped because the people that love her refuse to inject her with a serum and kill her. And so the scientists rebel. They trap Kate Mara inside the cage they originally had Morgan in. Morgan breaks out, goes homicidal for no real discernible reason. Amy promised to take her to the lake to see Beauty or whatever.
Some very interesting sexual tension there.
Yeah, eventually Kate Mara parkours her way out of the cage. Kate Mara is chasing after Morgan and Amy in the woods with a sniper rifle. And then Kate Mara and Morgan get into like this weird fist fight. Morgan impales Kate Mara on a tree branch, and Morgan thinks now she's safe with Amy, but Amy is terrified now and starts holding a gun up to her. And before Morgan can kill her because she's displayed torturous weapon, Kate Mara like beats her over the head with the sniper rifle and like drowns Morgan in the water.
Yeah.
It was such an anticlimactic kill.
Yeah.
I thought she was gonna blow her fucking brains out, metal and all.
And then the best part of the movie happened, and it wasn't part of the movie. Kate Mara shoots Amy, and then when we were watching this guy in the front row was like, damn! And it was so funny. We were laughing like for the rest of the movie.
The entire screening audience was laughing because that's exactly what they wanted to hear.
Yeah.
They wanted this to be just the dumbest popcorn chomping shit show. But then the epilogue happens. These two government guys are talking. They're like, well, it turns out that this Morgan test was a failure. It's like, however, the other test did its directives perfectly. I guess it goes to show that the old dogs always win. And then it turns out, plot twist, Kate Mara is a robot. And that was a joke I made to Liam 10 minutes before the end, because I thought that was a twist so stupid they wouldn't go for it.
I was like, okay, Daniel, I know this movie's stupid, but it's not.
But it's not that stupid.
It's not.
It was that stupid, man.
Maybe that's their excuse from Kate Mara giving such a terrible performance, is because she's a robot.
Man, if they want to model this after the T-1000, Robert Patrick was such a better performance.
Yeah.
Because you believed he was human.
He was actually like scary in that movie.
Because he was meant to be scary.
Right.
Kate Mara was just meant to be the main lead. And she was bland as shit. And it just bored me. I didn't feel anything because of her. And so when that twist happens, I'm like, wow, that was kind of dumb.
This movie
just fucking sucks.
So if you clicked on the time code, welcome back to our review of Morgan.
AKA bullshit. This is an amalgamation. No, this is a clusterfuck of everything wrong and boring with sci-fi. Put a famous director's name in front of it, Ridley Scott. His kid directs this. Surely it should be good, right? No, it's just a shitty Ridley Scott clone with a terrible performance. A story that is just so lifeless. Thinks it's saying so much more than it really is, or at least it acts like it. The score is simple for a movie that's just plain old bullshit. 2 out of 6. Didn't like it. I don't feel enough about it to really hate it.
In some ways I want to go a little bit lower. At the same time, the cinematography's decent, some of the visual effects are decent. Paul Giamatti is magical. Thank you, sir, for this performance. Ridiculous, makes no sense, boring, repetitive. I'm with you, Daniel. I'm giving this a 2 out of 6.
Fuck it. So, half-cocked verdict, 2 out of 6. Don't watch this.
There's good movies in theaters right now. Go see Southside with You. Go see Hell or High Water. Go see War Dogs.
The guys are going to go see Hands of Stone. I'm going to see the Slipknot Manson concert on Thursday, so y'all are getting a review with Barnyard, Matt, and maybe Aaron.
It's not going to be the same without you. It's going to be like Justice League without Superman. Oh, wait.
If we get time, maybe we'll go see Mechanic Resurrection, which looks amazing.
That movie needs Paul Giamatti.
Every movie needs Paul Giamatti. If y'all like this video, please click the like button down below. Also, the subscribe button's down there if you want to be the first to see new content. We've got Facebook and Twitter pages where you can follow us for movie news and more nonsense. We're also starting a Half-Cocked fantasy football league. As soon as football season starts rolling around, we're going to be talking about our picks and the news for that.
And if you want to learn some more about some other movies we may not have covered, check out Daniel's blog, check out my blog. Both do movie reviews.
Also down there.
Also in the, down in the link below.
And yeah, y'all have a good night. We're going to watch Indignation now. I'm gonna get some candy and fucking, I want to get shit-faced.
Okay, you have to drive me back to school though. So
God damn it.
don't get too shit-faced.
All right, I'm not gonna incriminate myself. Bye.